let's talk about owned media as a strategy or a tool for helping you generate leads, particularly in markets where there's lots of competition, where your competitors are very skilled and they have deep advertising budgets and they understand your customer just like you do, where we have AI now, and AI is making, as you know, AI is making it so much easier to produce great marketing collateral, great blog posts, great ads, great landing pages, great websites. We can do stuff faster to a higher degree of quality. This is great for you, but it's bad because it's also great for your competitors. So what that means is now the level of mediocrity has increased in the marketing environment. And so your potential customers, your potential clients, they're seeing more and more ads from more and more people that are very good, which just adds to the white noise. We're in a trust recession at the moment. This is a documented thing. You can Google it, where consumers naturally trust businesses less at this point in time. All of these things mean that we've got to look at our strategy and how we do what we do to help us generate more leads. Owned media is one of those strategies, and owned media is not new. It's a tool that and I'll explain this in a second. You've heard of it before. You're probably doing it now, but I want to talk about how to make sure you're leveraging it as best you possibly can to generate as many high quality leads as you possibly can. So in this session, I'm going to answer these 5 key questions. Number 1, what is owned media and how does it help lead gen in a world of AI? How does owned media help in a high trust lead gen environment? Let's be honest, that's most lead gen environments. It's high trust where your prospect needs to feel that trust in their heart and their mind before they reach out and engage you. What are the qualities of an effective owned media in the new wisdom economy? And I'll talk about the wisdom economy as well, because that's been a huge paradigm shift also, and it's relevant here. Number 4, does AI still have a place in the development of effective owned media? The answer is yes, and I'll explain that as well. And then what's the best way to get started building an owned media engine? You've probably got all of the ingredients, but let's talk about the optimal way to do that. So number 1, what is owned media and how does it help lead gen in a world where AI generated content is everywhere? Owned media is blogging, it's email marketing, it's social media marketing, it's media that you specifically control. You have control over what you say and when you say it. The most powerful types of owned media are email and video, which is where you can actually, obviously you've got control over what you say. Blogging as well, on your website where you post it and it's live on the blog. Now, owned media, so these tools that we use to communicate messages, it's effective because it helps you build this status in the hearts and minds of your ideal prospects. It helps you deliver or say the stuff that you've got to say, demonstrate the things you've got to demonstrate, do the stuff you've got to do to help them position you in their mind as the ideal solution. Other kinds of ads and other types of media are going to help you do the same thing, but owned media is important because you have more control over the qualities and the distribution of your own media. Now, I want to note that we're no longer in the information economy. So for a good number of decades, information was the stuff that people wanted and was somewhat scarce. Now, with the rise of AI, that's no longer the case. Anybody can go to a language model and ask it a question like ChatGPT or Perplexity, ask it a question and get a detailed answer and have a chat with it, like literally chat with it, literally talk to it, which is equal part awesome, equal part pretty scary. What that means now is that information isn't what people necessarily see as being scarce. Wisdom. We're in the wisdom economy now, where it's what we do with that information, the insights that we can pull from that information to actually drive a competitive wedge. So answering this question here, so what is owned media and how does it help lead gen in a world where AI generated content is everywhere? So it's the media that you control. So it's emailing to a list, using your email list. It's blogging, to your blog publishing content that you control, that you have control over the distribution method for that. I mentioned social media. To some extent, social media is owned media because you can publish to an Instagram page or a Facebook page or TikTok. There is a degree of algorithmic influence there where the algorithm might not get your message out to everybody. So social is to some extent owned, but email and blogging, videos thrown in there as well with blogging, and I'll explain a formula for that in a moment. But it's those platforms where you control the algorithm. Next question. How does owned media help in high trust lead gen environments? So gone are the days of running an ad, say on Facebook, on Meta, to a cold audience with a bottom of funnel offer. So it's like an inquire now offer. It's a chat with us now and we'll explain how we can achieve an outcome for you. Sure, there are some industries that you can still do that, where we can run a campaign and somebody can inquire and they pick up the phone and they're a decent opportunity. But they are now decreasing in how we can do that. It's not so much an effective strategy anymore. And my theory on this is there are a number of reasons why the trust economy, the trust recession that I've mentioned, the barrier to entry to advertise is so low. Anybody can advertise now on Google Ads, for example, on social media. Anybody can log into an ad manager and run an ad. This means that I think people trust ads less. So what does that mean? What does that mean for us now as a lead gen marketer, as a business trying to grow, using, if you've got a sales pipeline, you need leads to grow. How do we get it to work? How do we fix it? What owned media does is it increases the length of your nurturing runway. So we can see a funnel here. This is your classic funnel. This is the thought model where we segment a funnel into different stages. So the top is awareness, consideration, and then decision. Now, those direct to offer campaigns used to go straight to that decision. We want to hit people who were obviously ready to go straight away. Owned media means that you can now capture them further earlier on in their decision-making process when they're further up. Where's my mouse here? In the awareness stage. And what we can then do is nurture them using that owned media, using your emails, using your blogs, using your videos. We can nurture them. We can say the stuff we've got to say to, win that champion position in their hearts and minds so that they move down into the place where they're ready to actually take action. And often leads who have experienced your own media, they're warmer, they're more qualified, they already know who you are. They may already be ready to hand over their money in exchange for whatever it is that you do. So there is a benefit anyway to before this situation over the past sort of 2 years with AI. Regardless, that's how owned media helps in high trust lead gen environments. So what are the qualities of effective owned media in the new wisdom economy? Now, I've explained the wisdom economy and let me zoom out a little. So AI, right, and I've sort of alluded to this already. AI means now the use of, say, ChatGPT or a language model that lets you ask a question and it can produce an answer, which might be a blog post or a social media post. What that now means is that anybody can do that. Anybody can punch out a blog post that answers a question like, give me 10 reasons why I shouldn't buy an investment property in 2025. As an example, anyone can do that. That used to be a popular and effective blog post structure. 5 years ago, perfect. That'd be a great blog. Now it's not, because anybody can ask that question in ChatGPT. What that means is that to have an effective knowledge posture, and this is a strategic tool that we use here at ProNarrative, we create a knowledge posture for you, for our clients. An effective knowledge posture in the modern environment isn't so much rooted in pure information. It's rooted in insights and opinions and certain perspectives on things that AI might not have, or thought models or frameworks or information that is framed or shaped in a particular way that AI simply can't produce based on your experience, for example. So if you want to drive an effective owned media strategy, think of your knowledge posture and think of what AI can do and what it can't do. And obviously you've got to do what it can't do, which is, include your insights and wisdom and things like that. We want to prioritize trust over tactics. So the things that you say and do and provide and share and expand on and unpack and all that stuff has got to be designed to obviously increase trust. So your prospects trust in your ability to get the result that they want, the actual result that they're after, the dream that they're trying to achieve. And then finally, consistent delivery. And I see this often where sometimes businesses, organizations, they treat content or this sort of own media being blogging and emailing and producing video posts as like a campaign, a periodical campaign where they'll do it for a month and then stop. An effective own media strategy is consistent. Like, it's relentlessly consistent. It doesn't have to be every day. You don't have to be blogging every day, but just be consistent, because that's one of the most impactful features of a strategy that your prospects will observe, is the fact that you are consistently showing up. So with your blogging, with your emailing, with all the stuff, just be consistent. Next question. Does AI still have a place in the development of an effective owned media? That should say strategy there. Yes, it does. The short answer is yes, but not for creativity. So not for writing a blog article, not for thinking of an idea to write about, because your competitors can go to ChatGPT, for example, and say, give me 10 blog post ideas for my blog about digital marketing. ChatGPT is going to give you a set of responses that might seem like they're pretty good, but your competitors can go and do exactly the same thing. So my advice here is to use AI for speed and not creativity. So it's up to you, your human brain, because your human brain has this contextual overview of the environment. You know what your competitors are doing, what they're not doing. You've got the thought models, you're creating the processes, you've got your wisdom, your learnings, all the sort of stuff that you've got. Use that as the inspiration for the content, and then maybe use ChatGPT to help you write it. So use it for the speed of implementation to produce the content that you've got to produce. So this next point is ideation and thought models and frameworks. So I think I've already included that. Use your thought models, your frameworks, your thought frameworks, and then use an AI model to help you either communicate those or develop those. So expand on an idea that you've already got. It all comes down to speed and not creativity. That is the core thing to consider when thinking about using AI in an own media strategy. Because once again, your competitors have access to exactly the same tools as you. And this final point is repurposing. So a great strategy is to use AI what we do is we will share a blog post and take a look at this blog post. Take a look at, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link to a blog post. And if you're watching this on our blog, scroll down and you'll see that there is a transcript. We took the transcript and created a blog framework using AI. So we took the transcript, we plugged it into ChatGPT and said, create us a blog overview using this transcript, create us a blog draft using this transcript, and then we refined it from there. That's a way in which you can speed this up. And then repurposing is things like social media posts can be created from original content that you create. And then what's the best way to start building an owned media engine? Firstly, pick a channel or channels. And I'll use us as an example. So we have our blog, we have our YouTube channel, we have an Instagram profile, we have, there's one more, which one is it? LinkedIn. So some of our videos go to my personal LinkedIn. So those are our channels, and they're the channels in which we are violently consistent in sharing content to those. So pick the channels that you are ready to commit to, and then get ready to commit to them, and make sure that you commit to them. Pick a format, so video and email. So I'll talk through a process that we follow. Now, video is a core of our our own media format, our own media strategy. And there's a couple of different types. Number one, there's this style of blog. And number two, there's a sort of talking head where most often than not, it's me talking to camera. That's the video component. The second component is blogging. So this video, for example, we craft a blog, and I've already told you how we do that using AI to speed things up. And then we email every time we publish a new blog that goes to our email list. And then most times we share a video to Instagram or YouTube Shorts that is also emailed to our list. So that's sort of like a way in which we can cross fertilize different platforms using the same piece of content. So think about the way in which you can get the most value from the content that you are creating, and use this blog post. So if you're watching this on our blog, use this blog post as an example. And it's highly important that you include the transcript. And we use a tool called rev.com that helps us transcribe a video recording. Use the transcript at the bottom of a blog post, and that's for your organic search visibility. So Google will index that text, the transcript text, and use that as helping gauge the authority of your website. Remember, your insights and wisdom. I can't stress that enough. Your knowledge posture is so important to weave in, and also your signature system. So your signature system, and this again is a deliver that we work on for our clients. That's a tool for differentiating a business when a business can't, or maybe it can, but it's a tool for differentiating a business in a unique way, where we apply a label and a process and sub-methodologies and characteristics that are positioned uniquely about the organization's process or the way that the formula they follow to deliver and add value to their clients or customers. So it's applying a label to how they do what they do instead of what they do, instead of differentiating what they do. And so include that as much as you possibly can in your content. So your signature system might include frameworks and visual models and diagrams and thought models and certain proprietary processes that you follow. If you can include those in your own media, that'll achieve all the stuff that own media has got to do in this modern environment, which is demonstrating authority, demonstrating your proof of expertise, demonstrating that you've got unique insights, demonstrating that you're committed to adding value to your community through the own media process. This is another way in which you can further advance your expertise and build authority in the industry that you want to gain your market share of. And finally, if you need help with this stuff, I realize that crafting an effective own media strategy takes a lot of work. You've got to work out things like your signature system, your knowledge posture, and then which platforms to use and then formats for delivering those. This is something we can help with. If you need help doing any of the above, reach out. Our expertise is lead gen. I mean, that slide should say general social media lead gen. I just haven't updated that from a previous slide. But lead gen in high trust markets is our area of expertise. So if you're suffering from a sophisticated market, from jaded or tired audiences, your competitors feel like they're getting pretty tough now with the rise of AI and all that sort of stuff, or you're just having trouble scaling, reach out. Would love to chat. And as always, if you have any questions about this, either shoot a comment below the YouTube video or send something through our contact form on our website. Thanks for watching.